All right, I can do that. Let's see. Let's go. Nexlux Einherjar. I want to see that game. Does that sound good to you? Or actually,
Sounds good to me.
are we ZVZ'd out? I guess we are going to see a lot of
No,
ZVZ in this pool.
we're gonna see a lot of ZBZ regardless of anything. So I mean, we'll just load it up and we'll go for it.
All right. Yeah, that's a funny thing to say. Are we ZVZ'd out? Because you can never for one thing, you can never have enough ZVZ, and for two, there's so many Zergs in this pool. There's going to be a
Yeah,
lot of ZVZ.
we might be ZBZ'd out. It's hard to get ZBZ'd out because ZBZ is such a cool matchup. I mean, it's just that the Baneling micro and all the early builds and stuff like that, and the aggression. It's really hard to get ZBZ'd out. But man, we're gonna have so many Zergs.
Yeah, ZVZ is actually one of my favorite matchups to watch because, like you said, it's just so fast-paced. All that Ling and Baneling micro in the beginning, and then who takes the roaches first, or who builds roaches first, and all that stuff. So, uh, but yeah, let's go ahead and introduce our players in the top right, wearing the red soft shell jacket. Yeah, it just
Bam.
went there. It's going to be all inspiration Nexlux.
We're gonna start running out of art, like things, pieces of clothing. Eventually, we're just gonna be like the red sock.
Hey
And in
man,
the bottom left, we had wearing the purple, purple sweater. We're going to have Einherjar.
I'm gonna use that purple sock now thing, just to spite
You
you.
just wait, it's gonna happen. Oh, Einherjar. Oh, sorry, thought I saw something interesting, something strange happening.
So yeah, we just see Nexlux do that extractor trick there.
Yeah, they
Um,
both did.
oh, wait, they're gonna take the early. Oh no, they're just doing an extractor trick.
Yeah, I was like, why? Are they, for a second, I was like, why is he taking gas this early? Wow, that was some early. You're not even a pool. Come on, man.
Not even a pull. All right, there, and we do see Nexus accidentally pulled the drones off the mineral line there for a second. So, Aquila, don't worry about that. It happens to the best of us.
Man, I do that shit all the time.
So do
Half the
I.
time, it's like my drones. I make them stop. It is so they both took their pulls at around, I think it was either 14 or 15. I think it was 15 actually. And we do have Ian Herrar actually taking his gas. He's taking that early gas. So he looks like he wants to go into speed directly out of that spawning pool.
Yeah, I mean, Einherjar did this last game as well, so it looks like he likes to just open up with that safety speed. Um, it looks like he has a drone at his natural, so he's going to take that natural here shortly. Yep, there it goes. So this looks like the same, or at least a similar opening that he did to the last game against Aquila.
Yep.
Um,
And actually, the natural going for Nexlux going down the same, maybe actually a little bit later than it is going down for Ian Herrar. So
yeah,
that's just
that's correct. Yeah, so again, I don't know if that is just a
conscious decision, or if it's actually just like maybe overdosed on one drone or something like that. I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm just wondering if that's like their naturals went down at roughly the same time, so I'm just wondering if that's just possibly a little bit of a slip up on Nexus's macro, or is it early game macro, or if it's just or if the this defensive speed really just doesn't put you back behind that far at all.
Yeah, well, the speed is coming up for Einherjar now, and we do have a gas coming up for Nexlux, so he's looking to grab his own speed. And we have the Queens coming up for Einherjar, and just gonna, where was that? Wasn't it? Sorry, I thought, oh yeah, he just kind of got that overlord away. And Einherjar did produce 6 lings. These, I think, it's probably going to be defensive, but if he wanted to, he can move out in the map. And Nexlux did choose to go for a spine crawler, so he's going to play a little bit defensive. He understands that his opponent has gone for speed a little bit early. He has got that earlier gas, so I think he knows that he wants to play a little bit defensively this game.
Right, and Einherjar has been on the team for quite some time. I feel like it's been over a year probably since he joined the team. So Nexlux and Einherjar have played quite a few games together over the year, this past year, and so
And
I
there's a
feel like
lot of that's a
Nexlux
lot of
knows the
lings, man.
style. Yeah, and,
Yeah,
and
that,
that
that
is
is
a
a
lot of
lot of
links.
links. That is a lot of links. He looks like he might actually be interested in putting on some aggression. And Nexlux is aware of this. He does produce 6 slings, and he does put down his Baneling nest. It looks like he might be he's anticipating there might be some aggression heading his way. Moves that spine crawler on down.
Yep, and it looks like
Oh, this is going to be so. This is like if this in ZVZ, this is the defense. This is the spine crawler and 3 queens. This is almost impossible to break in the early game. It is
yeah,
just
definitely
it's
for sure.
impossible to break.
Yeah, and Einherjar is gonna still try to get a couple drones maybe, but he's trying not to overcommit here. He doesn't want to get caught out and trapped into that natural base. So he's just kind of dancing around here, maybe trying to force a reaction out of Nexlux.
Which is good. I mean, actually, on meanwhile on the Harris side of things, he's producing a lot of drones. He just produced 6 more drones, so he's actually joining up pretty heavily behind this. And there's just a bunch of defensive banes that are going down for Nexlux. So he
Yeah,
actually is going to pull a little bit of a macro lead out of this one. He's going to grab his second gas. I'm probably going to see a Roach Warren up here in a couple of seconds.
yeah, and like I was saying before, this is just kind of being defensive with aggression. He's just kind of poking in here at Nexlux, kind of just trying to force a reaction, which he did. He forced Banelings and a couple spines, so which were canceled, I believe. Oh, he actually left one up, so.
No, he just grabbed that. There was that initial spine that he moved on down to the front there. But
Oh,
we
I
do,
see. Okay.
yep. So we do have the Roach Warren coming up for Einherjar. A little bit later than Nexlux's Roach Warren, but not going to make that much of a big difference, just because he is very Einherjar is very ahead. That little aggression is poking in and keeping the drones off the line and stuff like that really did make a little bit of a difference there. So Einherjar is a little bit economically ahead, and he's going to get that Roach Warren up. I think he's going to see a big round of Roaches heading right over to Nexlux's base.
Yeah, Nexlux opting to get that Evo chamber too, to try to get maybe a little bit of an early upgrade advantage. So we'll see uh, how that works out for him.
13 Roaches coming out for Einherjar. That's a lot of Roaches coming out. We got 7 coming out for Nexlux. With that spine crawler with his queens, I think you should be able to make at least a hold here. But if we get many more Roaches out of Einherjar, this is a pretty terrifying push that's going to be coming in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, that is quite a few roaches. So, Nexlux does have a couple of roaches of his own. He also has a couple of banes in his main. Uh, I think Nexus will be able to hold this just fine. He has quite a few queens out in the front here.
Yeah.
Who will be able to get off transfuses. He's got a spine there as well, so I think
Flames
Nexus
running.
is sitting pretty okay here in this situation.
All right, so we're getting the kind of surround here. The Banelings are going to come in and see what kind of damage they can do. Obviously, not too good against Roaches. Oh, that was just
That was
holding
unfortunate.
these Roaches back. Oh, charging up the ramp. Decides to back off. It gets a
Yeah.
wise choice. You don't want to charge up that ramp.
Yeah, Nexus had a pretty good defense going on there, and he was able to just kind of push that back. Unfortunately, he
Nexlux.
didn't really get any very good Bane hits, but that's alright.
Yep.
Banes don't do very much against roaches anyways, since they're armored, so.
So behind this, he actually takes a very sneaky third, as does Einherjar. He is grabbing his lair. They're both grabbing their lair techs here, and Nexlux is going to have his +1 quite a bit faster. He, like you said, he opted for that Evo chamber a little bit earlier, so Einherjar is just getting up his Evo, so that +1 is going to be a little bit delayed compared to Nexlux.
Yeah, and they both take the third around the same time. So I think we're seeing a pretty even game out of this right now.
Yeah, this is actually a very even game. Positing in the middle there. We're grabbing the Roach speed, grabbing that +1, and Nexlux is grabbing a few more Roaches. Like he's coming out onto the map here, I'm not sure what he's looking to do here. He might be. I think he knows that he's got +1 a little bit faster, so I think he might be counting on that +1 to be able to kind of carry him through a little bit. Oh, just gonna snipe a creep tumor.
Yeah,
Einherjar moving his spines out. He's positing on a defense here. He knows that he's expecting a little bit of aggression to come in a second here, so I think he knows that he needs to make a little bit of a hold to hold off that third. And Nexlux heading straight to the third here.
Yep, and there's
Roach speed coming up in about 50 seconds, but here he comes right. Einherjar does not spot it as of yet.
Yeah, and
Here
he's
it
actually
comes.
caught a little bit out of position here. He's not going to be able to get a
Yeah,
concave now because of this. In fact, Nexus will probably be able to
I
get a better
think just
concave.
snipe it. I think he'll be able to. I think he's going to snipe that third. And he's just going to walk right out.
Yeah, he's just gonna hit and run there.
And the thing is that he doesn't. Neither of them have speed, but he can just walk right out. He's going to have speed in a second anyway. So Nexlux is going to have speed in a second anyway. So he can just get out without many losses at all.
Yeah, and now he's. It's important to know Einherjar now does not have a third hatch for production. So Nexlux being at home and having another hatch to produce, there's more larvae there, so you'll be able to produce a little bit more roaches as well. So he should have the defender's advantage, but Einherjar having a really good concave there.
It's a great concave, but I mean, he's got Nexlux does have that +1. He's got those queens with the transfuses, and Einherjar just went over there, just kind of searched for a third. Maybe took a third there, but just positing outside of his base and remaking his third right now. Einherjar does have a pretty high roach lead. He's got about 9 roaches ahead, but they don't have that. No.
They're
No,
fairly
do
even in
+1.
army supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nexlux actually jumping a bit ahead there as we speak. 108 and 100 to 104 army supply.
Oh, and Nexlux. Oh, just charges the ramp. Sees what's there. Oh. All right, here we go. Oh.
Again, Einherjar with the better concave there.
Well, let's see what Nexlux Einherjar's got a pretty good concave going out of this one. Oh, he's got a pretty good concave. I'm not sure if Nexlux is gonna be able to hold it.
Nexlux does have a defender's advantage though. He's got that those reinforcements
Roaches.
coming.
Yeah.
This is very close.
Yeah, this is really close. Surprisingly close. Einherjar's got a couple of roaches that are kind of streaming across the map here, but this is just so close.
Yeah, and I think Nexus is going to take this if he
I think he
transfuses
is.
correctly. He's just going to be able to clean this up. And he pushes this back. That was extremely close. Einherjar had really, really good concaves. He outpositioned Nexlux like every single time on his side of the map.
Objectively, the big deal here is that Einherjar is a couple of drones ahead here, but he's saturating his third. He's actually getting drones at his third. So Nexlux had his third for this entire time, but it wasn't doing anything. It didn't have anything mining on it. It was just hanging out. And the reason why is because Einherjar was putting on that aggression. He needed those roaches, so he wasn't able to produce any drones.
And Nexlux losing maybe five or six roaches there. Einherjar catching him out. Yeah, basically for free. Nexlux has another round of roaches coming though.
But he now is at 2-1 versus 1-0. So these roaches of Nexlux are just going to survive. They're just going to live, and they're going to have a big damage output, and you can see that right here. The power of upgrades.
Yeah, upgrades just really, really showing their worth here.
Yep, and he's grabbing that. Nexlux is grabbing that supply advantage. It's now 120 to 108. He's backing off, and he's going to start droning up his third a little bit more heavily, I think. Or, no, he's actually grabbing some more roaches. Yeah, he's grabbing more and more roaches. So maybe looking to put on a little bit of aggression, see what he can do. I think he might be looking for some blood. Oh, or maybe he's looking to take a fourth here. No, he's positing on heading towards the third, I believe.
Yeah, and I feel like Einherjar has kind of clawed his way back in this game because, like you said, he did drone up a little bit and saturate that third, and then was able to put on that aggression.
He's out of position. Is the third going to get sniped? I think the third.
No, he's going to back off.
Oh.
Nexlux realizes that Einherjar has a little bit of better position, and he's got spines there as well, so he realizes he needs to back off and engage somewhere else. They do have pretty even concaves right here.
But Einherjar having that just a really good concave actually, and well, he's still Nexlux is still producing a lot of roaches. Big round of roaches coming out again.
Yeah, and this third saturation from Einherjar is kind of just slowly showing its worth more and more as the game moves on. But Nexlux does
Oh,
have his third saturated now as well.
yeah,
So
he is. He's actually got almost oversaturated. I think he might be looking to take a fourth here in a second. He did clear out those lings out of his fourth just a few seconds ago. But Einherjar throwing some lings around, doing some ling slinging. It's going to come right into the third. But I don't think it's going to do much ling slinging. I don't think it's going to do much. There are too many queens at the natural, and they're just all the roaches are the third. So
yeah, good
these lings are not
defense.
going to get too much of anything.
Good defense by Nexlux there. He kind of just covered all of his options and was able to kind of just shut those lings down, make sure they didn't get any drone kills.
Oh, Einherjar does have his +2, +0, and Nexlux is still on 2-1. He is getting his 2-2, and Einherjar is getting his +1 carapace. So they're slowly starting to get a little bit on the same level, and Einherjar is grabbing his fourth right now with a little bit of supply lead. So we'll see if it's. I think it's going to be whether or not Einherjar can hold that fourth.
Right, and yeah, we'll just have to see. I mean, Nexlux does have that little bit of an upgrade advantage, so if he recognizes that Einherjar is taking that fourth, he might try to do something about it. But they're pretty even in army supply right now. Let's see here, just yeah, 132 to 144. So not, and Einherjar actually has a bigger army supply.
Yeah, he does. You know, the only thing that I'm going to say is I think it's kind of interesting, at least. Yeah, I think it's interesting because in ZBZs at this point, well before this point, I would have been moving into Hydras, I would have been moving into Infestors and that sort of thing. Oh, big engagement though.
Yep, and Einherjar
is going for a really big concave. Ooh, but I think, oh, the upgrades, are they too good? Oh no, they're actually on even upgrades at this point. Oh.
But Nexlux does have a couple queens. He's not really transfusing much though.
No, he's not, but Einherjar behind this actually still has a supply advantage. So it's the reproduction. There is a lot of reproduction for Einherjar that is going to come out. So he may lose this fight, but I don't think he's going to lose the second one.
Yeah, Nexlux is taking his fourth now. So I mean, Nexlux does pull ahead in this fight, but like you said, all those roaches that came out from Einherjar, that reproduction
really makes a difference. So yeah, we have an uneven army supply in favor of Einherjar, 134 to 109. I'm not sure if he's going to try to do anything with that, but it is enough of an advantage where I feel like he could actually be able to pressure in there. I'm not sure if he's going to take advantage of that, but he has his fourth earlier, and he is getting it saturated, which makes a really big difference because Nexlux does not have that. He's a little bit oversaturated on his third right now. Actually, I'm going to take a look at the drone counts. Yeah, we have 45 drones to 54, so that's 45 drones for Nexlux and 53 now for Einherjar. So he actually does have a drone advantage. Oh, and Einherjar is going to actually looking to break those back rocks right into the main.
Oh, sneaky play.
It's going to be cute, but Nexlux, does he scout it? I think he does. I think he sees it.
I think he saw that roach go through the grass there, and unfortunately he can't really get up that ramp because Einherjar will just outposition him and get that concave.
Yeah, and Einherjar does grab does grab the main, but here we go. Here's the engagement. I'm not sure if it's going to be close. I think with this number of roaches, I'm pretty sure that Nexlux is going to take it though.
Yeah, Einherjar does have that concave though. He always has that concave.
He really does. Einherjar is one of those places that I've watched him a couple of times, and he is a guy who really does know. I mean, he lost this fight, but he does know how to position. I will compliment him all the time, to the end of time about that, because I've seen him play so many different games, and like ZVZ, ZVP, whatever it is, and he knows his engagements. He knows what kind of concave he needs to get to. But anyway, we do have
sending.
Nexlux.
And Einherjar is actually sending a round of roaches to Nexlux's fourth, trying to catch him out.
Nexlux is actually sending his round of roaches over to the main, he's positing onto the third. There are 2 spine crawlers defending, but I'm not sure that's enough.
Yeah, and we might see maybe some kind of base race situation here.
Yeah. Oh, so Nexlux grabs the third, Einherjar grabs the fourth. But Nexlux is looking to grab the fourth too. Oh, is he going to snipe it? If he can snipe this fourth, he's going to be so ahead.
Yeah, and he does catch some roaches out, which is nice early on, but Einherjar still does have quite the army supply.
Advantage, yeah. And Einherjar is actually, see if he can catch these.
Oh, that's really unfortunate.
No.
Nexlux just runs his army right through Einherjar's.
rally point, yeah.
And I feel like Einherjar taking the fourth over Nexlux taking Einherjar's third. I feel like Einherjar gets a much better deal out of that because Einherjar's
Does.
third was I don't know. I think like halfway mined out already.
Yeah,
Um,
it wasn't getting low by any means, but it was getting lower. So having that fourth up is a lot better than having a third up, obviously. So I'm not sure. Oh, Nexlux actually option to grab the gold.
that
I think
is
Einherjar is just going to shut it right down. I don't think it's
yeah.
going to last for very long. Oh, and that's
Uh,
the end of that.
he doesn't even
None
get
of
the
that.
cancel. That's really unfortunate. That could have been 300 more minerals put into maybe another base or a couple more roaches. So
So Nexlux just looking to try to see if he can get a fourth base up, or a third base up in this case, considering the natural is gone. But, oh, Einherjar is positing on the fourth again. If he can snipe this again, oh, that's going to be so bad. Oh, but Nexlux actually choosing to counterattack. He's going to go right for the fourth base. And Einherjar is pulling back. He sees these roaches coming, and he's got to find some way to deal with it. He's got to hold it off. He knows he's got to hold this off. Here
yeah,
it comes. Big engagement. I feel like Einherjar has the bigger concave in this case.
yeah, and he also has the bigger army. Nexus's supply just dropping dramatically. 110 supply to 120 for Einherjar.
This doesn't seem like that much, but when you have all of the same unit, when you have all roaches just going against each other, 10 roaches or 10 supply difference is a big deal. It's
Yeah.
a huge deal.
Yeah, and Einherjar, while that engagement was going on, actually took out Nexus's fourth with just 4 lings.
Oh wow, I didn't see that.
So that's pretty huge.
You know, it's funny. These players, Einherjar is actually he's getting to the point where he's a little bit starved. He's long distance mining out of his third. His natural is completely mined out. His main is not is mined out. But at the same time, on Nexlux's side, he's just begging for it fourth, and he's long distance mining out of his third.
Yeah. But yeah. So but Einherjar does have 2 mining bases to Nexus's 1. Um, no, actually, my mistake. His third
No,
is actually
they're
remaking. You're right. So
they're pretty even at this point. It's just that he has again the Einherjar has the advantage of having the fourth up, which just has so many more minerals than that. But they're grabbing their bases again. They're grabbing their respective bases again. And Nexlux is setting up a big concave as fourth. He's like, all right, I'm done with this shit. None of this sniping my fourth stuff. I'm getting really tired of that. And Einherjar grabbing that gold, grabbing that for that gold fifth base.
yeah, and I feel like he's able to. He's got because he has that fourth
he's just
base.
so ahead. Yeah.
That fourth base position kind of allows him to take that gold base because he's already got reinforcements coming from that fourth. So he's able to kind of take that aggressive stance and not be punished too hard for it.
Small squad of roaches are going to head down to the third base of Einherjar. I keep calling him Einhardt for some reason, but Einherjar. It's just heading into the third base, and he's grabbing a couple of drones. Einherjar does pull it, but Nexlux is grabbing into the fourth. He's going right into the fourth. He's diving.
Oh, but he pulls back. Meanwhile, Einherjar is sending a little bit of roaches to Nexus's main, looking to get some work done here.
He's sacking. He's doing a lot. Let's see how many drones.
Oh,
have
and
gone down real quick.
Einherjar is actually focusing down Nexus's roach warren. It looks like he's going to get it, and if he does get it, it's going to be a big deal. Nexlux can no longer make roaches at this point. So
Nexlux does have a small supply advantage at this point, but Einherjar, I mean, he's sacking up. Where I feel like I'm missing. Oh no, there it is. So he's dealing with the roaches at his nat or his main, but Einherjar still has roaches in the natural. Oh, if you can grab that layer, that'd be so nice.
Man.
Oh, he grabs the layer.
So at this point, all Nexlux can make is lings and banelings, and
That's not a good position you want to be in ZVZ ever.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going against an opponent that is pure roach.
now Nexlux is remaking a spawning pool. He is actually making a spire. He got that spire down before the layer was killed. So if he can actually get out some mutas, he might be in an all right position. But in getting to that point is going to be a challenge. I feel if Einherjar can put on the correct type of pressure.
I really actually Nexlux's choice to go for a Spire here was incredibly intelligent because if you look at his gas bank, I mean, he can make minimally 16 mutas, and growing every single time, and so he can actually make quite a few mutas. He can make a lot of mutas. He's got a lot of gas saved up.
Yeah, he's
So
got
if he can
quite
get
the
to
bank.
point, yeah, if he can get to the point where he feels safe enough to make those mutas and he can defend at home, those mutas can really just tear apart Einherjar, considering the fact that he doesn't. Like I said earlier, that neither of these players have opted to go for Hydras. There's just nothing. 24 mutas coming in, and you have nothing to defend but Queens and Spores. That's going to be a really rough position.
Yeah, that and roaches can't shoot up. I don't know if you actually said that already or not. If you
Yeah.
did, I apologize.
With
But
25 mutas coming out right now. Ooh,
wow.
this could be game ending. This is brutal.
Yeah, this is pretty
Because
brutal.
Einherjar just does not see it. I don't know if he saw it coming. I think he scouted
He had a round of lings actually go into that base. So he did actually scout the spire.
There's just so many mutas, man, and there's no response to it at all. There's nothing. There's no response to the mutas at all. So here we go. An Nexlux coming in with his massive number of mutas and the roaches, and he's actually got a supply advantage with the mutas above Einherjar. And Einherjar is just, oof, this is going to be rough.
Yeah, and I feel Nexlux can probably get something done with this.
Snipes the fifth base right out.
Einherjar going for a counter attack. Maybe we might see some kind of base trade situation here.
It's actually, I mean, if I was on Herrar at this point, that's what I would go for. I'd probably go for the base trade. This is actually a wise choice, and that's because you can't touch that army. You literally are unable to touch those mutas. So if you can try to base race it, you might be able to get something done. But oh no,
Yeah.
here comes, it's the big engagement.
And I feel like Einherjar is going to send a couple roaches over there, to try to snipe that spire and end Nexlux's meteor rampage here. Yeah, so he does get that spire. That was really a good counterattack actually by Einherjar. He's able to get the fourth and the spire and the spawning pool.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing, now he has to survive. I don't know if he can survive much longer.
Yeah, Nexlux is going to have to end it soon, or
Yeah.
at least put on enough pressure in order to remake what he lost. So,
And he's just following those roaches. He's get on back here, you bastards! I'm gonna kick a mirror. Oh, a lot of spine crawlers, but there are no spores. There's only 2 spores here. A lot of spine crawlers holding that, but with just take out those spores. Look at that. See? Oh, God, I cannot. Nexlux, you going for that spire was just. I mean,
oh, and there's
Game
GG.
ending. Yeah, GG.
Wow.
GG is called.
What a
Nexlux,
game.
I want to applaud you, man. Without going for that, you had that gas bank. You had the bank for it. You knew that there was not going to be a hydrogen. You knew that there was no way your opponent was going to be able to hold it. Going for those mutas was clutch. It ended the game, and it was just a really genius idea. So really well played by Nexlux there.
Yeah, I also want to commend Einherjar though there. That was really, really solid play for a good 30 plus minutes. 37 minutes was that the time of that game. And
It was.
they were back and forth.
Oh yeah, and
The whole game.
Einherjar, it was back and forth. He did a really great job. I mean, I honestly at the beginning, like the mid game and that sort of thing, I would have thrown at Einherjar as the person who's going to win that one because he just looks so solid. He was keeping it up. He usually had a supply advantage. He was keeping up with his macro and that sort of thing, and he really looked like he could take that game. But just that clutch fire, being able to get those fire and those mutas out is really what just surprised Einherjar and was able to take that game.
Yeah.
So incredibly well done by both players.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game. That was really fun to cast.
All right, I'm gonna real quick run to the bathroom and then we'll be right back. I'm sorry, I had a monster, so
No problem
that's
at
why
all.
I'll be back in just a minute.
We're just
I'll be back
going
in
to
just 1
take
minute.
a small break, folks, but we'll be right back as soon as possible. Stay tuned.